Survey this, sirs.
Dear God, my eyes.
Bagley?
Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
I don't know what's worse. You.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You.
Yep, absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Wonder what ads they'll target me for coming here.
You're not seeing this fuckery? Let back these. Roll back these. Serve look where the wood get up for life. Wax waffle. They will come here like something out of hell. You will swallow them. Brats.
2-hour advertisement.
I understand they can't see confidential information over the phone, and that receptionists aren't allowed to do the shit.
What's your idea, mate?
Do they know how stressful it is to get a bloody call at 8 o'clock that morning that just says of a we got more time to come in to take over?
What's your problem?
Sure, I know it's probably the night. No, what they have
Got a problem?
but then they have to tweak something. So they give me a goddamn answer. And then we'll have to treat that.
What's your problem?
Bash your own head in.
Oh.
Sorry. Is that a bit grim? But that's just what
Back
I
it
think.
up, yeah?
On and on
Maybe
and
some
on.
fuck time.
No problem.
Most uncomfortable piece of clothing I've my body. I really don't think it's
Good
the
idea,
shape
mate.
of my arm. The more that I don't enjoy it.
Victory! That's right! Bow before me!
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hasani.
The SIRS Home Office liaison works here, but I'm not seeing them on any unsecured surveillance. Ah, but their assistants here. Start by hacking them.
Acknowledged.
Found her.
I won't come to your last minute meeting. You can take that and shove it up your smug, unelectable arse, you. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Why would you say that? One more thing comes up. Russian submarine
Download complete. Now Scarper or they'll kill you for sure.
Come out! Wherever you are! When I see anybody, I'll go over there. Now you're here somewhere.
Look again like the 1930s, it would look like a single charismatic.
Got it. 16 email threads indicate the Home Office liaison is a right lush. She spends most of her time down at the Three Hawker Boys. If you want to start a relationship with her, that's as good a place as any.
Send me the coordinates.
Done.
Nice to see you again. I know, but why?
My apologies.
Ha, yours, absolutely. Don't even give it a second thought.
Bugger off.
Yeah, no, I did. No, I did do that. Yeah, I left out a note.
Space, yeah.
No, no.
Take 2 steps back.
No, I'm acting like myself. Of course I'm myself. I've always been myself. Even amongst arrogant liars. Well, I am.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange that he was just another here today, gone tomorrow politician until his infamous London is drowning speech. These days, telling the truth can get you killed. Helen spelled out the dangers of populism, but made it political. And you know how it's This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange to think that he was just another here today, gone tomorrow politician until his infamous London is drowning speech went viral. The forces of darkness he unleashed with that speech changed everything around us. Was Hassani's rise inevitable? Could it have been stopped? And what happens when democracy starts to breathe the ideas that can destroy it? Using back channels and underground contacts, we got in touch with political analysts and historians to find out how it's possible for cynical, short-term leaders like our beloved Prime Minister to give birth to political nightmares. No full names, as you know. These days, telling the truth can get you killed. Helen spelt out the dangers of populism for major political magazines and websites back in the pre-century. This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani. Our gone,
Founder.
Hey, you look like you maybe did some modelling for... no.
Think of what you do with two. Goodbye.
Right, OK. Starting over. You seem tense. Drink?
Oh, I'm in a great mood, actually. It's just that... creature.
Fuck you!
Not even in your wildest dreams, sweetie.
I'm still learning the nuances of human interaction, but my analysis indicates that you aren't her type.
Not helping!
Quit your whining. There's plenty of fish in the sea. We've got the biggest saltwater aquarium in town. At least one of our fish is bound to be fuckable.
Go on.
Just try someone else. Maybe a woman this time.
They make sense of a world that can often feel really complicated and confusing, and they do often seem to offer instead of what politics can offer me, which is a kind of messy set of compromises where no one gets really what they want. Everyone gets... bit of it. And that's the problem, really. Someone is going to do something incredible and people. And I think you see that in the rhetoric around immigration. If you say immigrants are a problem, we're going to stop them. Stance for a country to want to control its borders, but the way that that's done can often end up being very cruel and inhumane. Because what you have said is immigrants specifically are the problem. Not every fascist is a populist, but... Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone, but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange to think that he was just another here today, gone tomorrow politician until his infamous London is drowning speech went viral. The forces of darkness he unleashed with that speech changed everything around us. Was Hassani's rise inevitable? Could it have been stopped? And what happens when democracy starts to breathe the ideas that can destroy it? Using back channels and underground contacts, we got in touch with political analysts and historians to find out how it's possible for cynical, short-term leaders like our beloved Prime Minister to give birth to political nightmares. No full names, as you know. These days, telling the truth can get you killed. Helen spelt out the dangers of
Auto
populism
drive now
and made
disabled.
it political magazines and websites back in the pre-censorship days.
The appeal of fascist politics is
Auto
about
drive now
strongmen, and
enabled.
they are usually men, because it's about saying
That's
there
a
are
combat
simple
drone, and it's
problems
after
that are really
me.
easy to define, say immigration, and there are simple solutions to them. Stop immigration, and they are really appealing because they make sense of a world that can often feel really complicated and confusing, and they do offer, or seem to offer, action instead of what politics can often be, which is a kind of messy set of compromises where no one gets really what they want. Everyone gets a little bit of it, and that's the problem. Really, is you end up in a situation where it looks like someone is going to do something incredible and transformative, but of course either it never really delivers, or it delivers at a huge cost to, for example, dehumanising people. And I think you see that in the rhetoric around
Auto
immigration.
drive
If you
now
say
disabled.
immigrants are a problem, we're going to stop them, it's a legitimate political stance for a country to want to control its borders, but the way that that's done can often end up being very cruel and inhumane, because what you have said is immigrants specifically are the problem. Not every fascist is a populist, but they are two interlinked styles of government, really, because what
Auto
fascists
drive
tend
now
to do is
enabled.
rely on narratives of deep change and of enemies. I think that's one of the hallmarks of this style of politics, where you represent your opponents not just as people who disagree with you, but as existential threats, as evil people. So you see it in the course of the run-up to the Second World War, where Jewish people are represented as, rats and a scourge. You see it with Muslims, where they are represented as coming to take over and replace white people. So you have big, defined groups of enemies that the person who is trying to convince you to vote for them, or later on simply to support their regime perhaps, needs to defeat. There is always an enemy to be defeated. Unfortunately, one of the
Auto
things we're
drive
very
now
bad at
enabled.
as humans is recognising different things when they don't look like previous examples. So I think in pre-crisis Britain we had an idea that when fascism came it would look again like the 1930s. It would look like a single charismatic leader. It would look like a jackboot to the street.
Shut up, you pig. What the hell?
Let's wait around and see if this blackmailer shows up. A potential recruit's blackmailer is nearby. Now's your chance to wipe the dirt from their optic.
Go bother someone else. You're going. Oh. I hope someone's recording all this.
Can't do that. You just can't.
Well done. That blackmailer is out of the picture. I'll tell our prospect the good news. We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
I'm in your debt.
You want in? Go on. Take the red pill. Join DedSec.
Consider me in.
Welcome to the team. So here's the situation. We're trying to find a rogue SIRS officer who we think is responsible